Okay, so you had wanted to see my new one, so here it is. This is going to be for the Vardo, so that we can keep track of park passes and whatnot. It's a Smash book I picked up on sale last year, but I ripped out all of the Smash pages. I used them just generally for the size and where to punch the holes, and then threw them all in a drawer. I make good cardstock for later. This ribbon right here is Paper Studio fibers. This one, I love these ones. And all of these various ones are pretty much all spare parts. This one may be a Prima flower, but I think that's a spare parts too, because I've held on to all of these various spare part ones. They're my favorite flowers. Prima has pretty ones, but I can afford the spare parts ones better. The burlap pieces I actually cut out in general leaf-like shapes and glued it all together. This paper and most of the papers are from, there's some of the other ones. I forgot. These ones aren't spare parts. These ones are flower center ones from Prima. But, you know, I adore stuff. So. And these you'll see throughout it, they're from Michael's brand. They're just little crochet flowers. Most of the paper is from the Mariposa stack from Die Cuts with a View. Not all, most. There are some other ones, and I don't have them all out because I've put everything away and then you wanted a video, so yeah. I believe I use a piece of this satin. If I don't use it here, I use it in the NOLA one. That's by Recollections. This wood, and that is by Paper Studio, like most of the stuff I get. I either get Die Cuts with View or Paper Studio, like on a more regular basis than the others. And that one's also Paper Studio. Spare Parts Sue is part of Paper Studio, so even all of that is technically them. Then there are a few pieces from Prima in the Romance collection. I used a bunch of these throughout it. They're definitions on what looks like old masking tape from Heidi Swap. I used a couple of these epoxy ones from Cloud9. And then I printed pictures from the internet. I used a couple Stackabilities, which is another Paper Studio line, stickers from this sheet. This doesn't go with it. I'm just excited to show you Sue. That one! I didn't use any of that in this one, but that one's awesome too. I think I used this paper in there too, and that is Pizzazz. Paper Pizzazz. But I got that at Hobby Lobby like I get most stuff. No, between there and Michael's. Sometimes it goes to Joann's, but not as much. So, I found a lot of pictures about gypsies, because that's what I'm doing online, and then just printed them out since they're just decorative. This one I went and sepia toned it with some ink already. And that one's pretty. Not my favorite one. My favorite one's right in front when I open this. So let's see if I can see, that's my favorite one. Oh, okay, so I started with a pocket. I made that from the Mariposa. Oh, these butterfly stickers, I threw the thing away, then I threw the bag away. I don't know what line those are. I got them on sale at Michael's. Hope that narrows it down. And this is a little paper bag. I forget which line that is. That I think I got at Michael's too. I stamped it. You find a lot of black words throughout here. That's stamped, just stuff. That one says, "Do it feels right." And as silly as it sounds, I got a lot of them out of the inside of Dove foils. That's one big stamp. But that, I can have a calendar and for tracking things throughout the year, for, club renewals and service on the Vardo and stuff. So this, all of my tags are blank, because I don't know exactly how I'm going to need to use them, so I didn't really do anything with them other than make a big blank tag. I figure one can track changes and whatnot, and maps. And so this, I have a couple doilies underneath it, and I believe those are from Paper Studios. And this paper that it's on is one of the Prima papers. Adore that one. And I can stick stuff to it, obviously, to track information and whatnot. This one, I can't do anything with the front of it. It's actually a piece of cardstock, a nice thick piece, because the back is something to write in. But there's one of those acrylic ones. Love is the master key that opens the gates to happiness. This is just a miniature little composition book. I got 3 for $1 at the Dollar General, I believe it was. I just covered it and added stickers, but that way I could journalize whatever I needed to journalize for taking care of all the stuff for the Vardo. Then, of course, flowers. I had to be careful of the positioning so nothing will get smashed. And there's obviously a pocket here and a pocket back here. And then this actually opens up so I can stick in a couple note cards or pictures or whatever. Because I can turn this into scrapbook since we're working on the Vardo to fix it up and make it prettier. Just another picture. She's lovely. Then this one's actually an envelope I made from cardstock. It says, "Dance with your heart." But that way I could shove receipts and whatnot, or odd shaped stuff I don't have an exact location for. Like I said, I have to figure it out as I go along. But then again, it's a binder. I can move things around, yank stuff out I don't need. This is made out of one piece of Mariposa paper. I cut it down to the size I needed, and then just secured it at the points all the way around. And then this, oh, I forgot about these. These are a botanical collection cards. I forget which line it is, but it's a botanical tea collection, I believe. I just thought it kind of went nice with it. If I don't use it, I can use it elsewhere. And we're most alive when we're in love. And that way I can put whatever I want there. This is a tuck-in spot. Then I ink stained those kids because it was just a modern black and white kind of photo, and I was like, ah. And then I stamped and covered over with the time you enjoy wasted is not wasted time. And this is another one of those envelopes, but I cut off the lid and used it as a big pocket. And this one is more squared with a flip out. This paper is a whole different kind of paper. This is a double-sided stack. Let me see if it's handy. That way if I want to make another, I can find this stuff. That one's a Canadian company paper. It just says it's designer paper, double-sided. I don't happen to see an order number on it. I'll have to find one later. But either way, there's a big pocket in the middle. Big pocket. And the back side opens up the same way. Now it says, "Be a little mysterious," and that one's "Give yourself permission." And this is from the same collection. And this one I just made a giant pocket and left both sides pretty blank so I could put stuff in it. Now these are slides for the large index folders, to protect them. Or you can also get them like this to protect sheets. I don't remember where I got them, which collection. they came with, but I just put 4 of them in here, punched the sides. One I did a little tab with, but boy, it didn't cut well. But that way I can shove them where I need to shove in, that I actually see the fronts of and whatnot. And because I doodle and draw so much, I just cut some paper to shove in here. And this was just a Michael's $1 list thing. I yanked off the front half because it felt too bulky. I still got it here in case I need it. Just at the back like the front. And then this piece of paper is actually the other part of this piece of paper. And here I'll later put something like maybe Tennessee Williams, A Prayer for the Wild at Heart, Captain Cage's. Maybe a different one. You know, The Laughing Heart, I love that poem. I might put something from there. And this band actually comes out like here, or I'm sorry, here and here. And I just glued it down flat. And since this won't be bounced around in a purse or anything, it can still just neatly lay over the flowers to keep it closed if it's too bulky, without actually really hurting anything. So now you've seen the Vardo binder I was telling you about.